Alright, there we go. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for legacy death and taxes. And today I'm going to go and play some of this glorious deck that I'm seeing right here. I'm pretty excited about this one. I saw this deck in the list of 5-0s from our last legacy 5-0 dump that we got. I think it was just this morning, and I knew that I had to play it. So what's it got going for it? It's sort of like Red Prison in that you're a Blood Moon and Chalice deck, but we also go and squeeze Suppression Field into the mix, which seems like it's really going to muck with all the Planeswalkers and activated abilities of artifacts that are going and running around. We've got Crater Makers similarly, which are going to make all those colorless cards just feel absolutely miserable. We've got some of the Red Prison suite, but we've got some newcomers here. So we have Nahib Dreadhorde Champion, a 5/4 Trampler. When it deals combat damage to a player or Planeswalker, you can discard any number of cards. If you do, draw that many cards and add that much red to your mana pool. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So it's a big finisher that can potentially turn your dead cards into better cards. And then you also have Najila, the Blade Blossom. Whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. So it's sort of like another Rabblemaster War Boss type card. The big eyebrow raiser that's here is actually Chance for Glory. It's an extra turn card with a downside. The downside is you lose the game. But the upside is probably you win the game. So if you cast this and it resolves, you've probably won. So it's 1 red and a white. Creatures you control gain indestructible. Take an extra turn after this one. At the beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game. So this sort of effect kind of rarely sees play because the potential downside is huge. But if you look at the clock that this deck represents, getting it 1 extra turn might really represent 10 plus damage very easily with things like Rabblemaster and War Boss getting out of control extremely quickly. So I don't know how well the mana is going to work for this deck. There aren't very many white sources, but there's only 7 white cards. So we have 4, 8, 12 white sources here, plus Chrome Mox maybe kind of counts as a white source. So it's it's a little questionable, but we'll see if it actually works out. I don't want to say much more about this. I just want to get into games. I'm trying to burn through a league here. This week is absolutely crazy busy for me, but I still want to make sure that I'm streaming and kind of doing justice to the people who want to go and support me. So let's make sure we get some matches in. Let's have some fun. I think one way or another, matches are going to go fast with this deck. So I think I can get through a league in 2 hours with this. Fingers crossed. The deck list is really interesting. I don't know if there's actually anything here. I'm guessing that this is just going to be clunkier than Red Prison. But it's neat. And that's definitely worth something. This is another Bahra Brew, by the way. I don't remember whether or not I mentioned that. He's been messing around with all sorts of stuff recently and doing fine with it, Trophy count. Would I like to play first? Yes. So this is Plateau, Spirit Guide, Spirit Guide, Spirit Guide, Rabblemaster on turn 1. Is that good? It's not insane. If I had a, War Boss instead of this Crater Maker, I'd 100%, snap keep this, no question. But if my Rabblemaster just gets, Swords to Plowshare or Lightning Bolted or something like that, it's just, super awkward. But we're trying to go through this league quickly, right? So that means that this is YOLO League. All right. We're not just losing the Rabble Master on turn 1, so that's fantastic. And it's a shuffle off the Ponder as well. I can play this thing next turn. That's cool. So this means that just like something like a Stoneforge Mystic coming down isn't going to be catastrophic or anything like that. So that's very nice. Ponder and Preordain. Are we still looking at miracles, or are we going to get something like White Splash Show and Tell? No, probably still miracles. All right, this thing doesn't have haste, right? No, it doesn't. And this thing doesn't have haste. So let's see if we make it through combat without losing anything. Let's start there. We did not. I mean, let's play the 5/4 Trampler. Opponent is reading my bad cards. What do you need 3 mana for? Do you have like a click to block or something? Alright, you have Snapcaster Mage. That's fine. So you'll Snapcaster Swords to Plowshares, my big guy. And then you'll trade Goblin Rabble Master with the little guy. Or Goblin Crater Maker, sorry. Yeah, that's fine. This doesn't actually shock a player, right? Yeah. Alright, I definitely misplayed. So, like, Goblin Crater Maker's a warrior. So I could have played this pre-combat and gotten another token. That wouldn't have been true because of the Force of Will, but was not familiar with Goblin Crater Maker's secondary type that had never come up in testing before. Don't just slam Mentor on me. I don't care too much about a Snapcaster Mage. I'm fine with that trading with half a Goblin, or like a Goblin token, which is less than half of a card. So now I'm not going to play any of this stuff out, A, because I lose a land, and B, because it also, like, makes my future, what's this thing called? Nahib's worse. Like, I want to keep bad cards to loot away for that. And I don't have, like, Ensnaring Bridge or anything like that that will punish me based on hand size. Alright, you hit a Brainstorm. So I don't actually care too much about this card. Like, it's obviously a powerful card, but I'm trying to just kill my opponent here. So we're gonna ignore the Walker and just play to the board. Ah, yes, the classic brainstorm in response to Simian Spirit Guide because it is so threatening. It's an okay position to be in. How much, like, direct burn do I have? Not as much as, like, traditional red prism. Or, like, none. So I don't have, like, fiery confluences or anything like that to just finish my opponent off. So I am going to have to go into the red zone in order to finish my opponent. So if they just, like, play a mentor and gum up the board, I'm in trouble. Okay. Are you going to 1 this turn? Alright, so I can Blood Moon and Spirit Guide if I'd like. Do I want to Blood Moon, though? Because if I Blood Moon, it takes him off of double white, which I guess is relevant for Hardcast Terminus. I could just use this as Chrome Mox fodder. Alright, so let's cast this Spirit Guide and see if it resolves. Let's start there. It does resolve. That might mean Terminus is in my future. No, probably not, because, like, that was a Jace bounce. I will go ahead and Moon. I think Mooning here is pretty medium, but I think just, like, decreasing my opponent's ability to just go and, like, cantrip their way into Oblivion and, like, always take the best of the cards may result in me winning this game. Like, currently on board, they have to have a way to, like, answer or block this Spirit Guide. Alright, they can just continue to awkwardly bounce all my creatures. That's fine. Like, a Goblin Rabblemaster off the top at any point is now just lethal. Sure, that's fine. So we have 7 creatures with, like, effective haste because they create something with haste. But I probably have a small window, in order to, like, draw them. Do I want to play these? I guess I should play 1 land so that I can go and play a Nahib if I draw it. But, like, future ones I will save in case I actually get to, like, loot with Nahib. I guess that doesn't matter, though, right? Because if I would go and loot with him, my opponent would just be dead. And I guess, like, the Narset that's sticking around does also pose a problem towards me, like, actually looting. A preordained, that's fine. That's awkward since I mooned, but this will be quite good if I can get it into play. So we'll be looking to draw a white card now. Like, getting rid of a Chance for Glory on Chrome Mox, for example, would be pretty great. Alright, they've started to go into Fate Seal mode, which is not good for me. So now I'm going to need multiple hits in a row. So we'll go ahead and just pass here. Not much to be done. Not going to be an exciting game. Like, definitely wish I was just playing regular Red Prison here. Like, because this would have been a playable card, and I would have had more reach that I could, like, actually go and just, like, close out this 1 point of damage. See if this is, like, good enough to actually get a response. It might not be. Like, they might be willing to just use 4 mana to, like, activate their Planeswalkers each turn. Because, like, the Narset isn't ticking anymore. Alright. Fair. This is a situation where in paper I'd probably concede here, but on Moto, like, it won't take very long for me to just die. And anytime one of these things gets bottomed, I have, like, just such a stellar chance at finding a draw that matters. So I need runner. It's unclear how much, like, gas my opponent actually has over there. Like, because of the Teferi, they can just kind of, like, sit on everything that they've got going on. Bouncing the Chromox is cute, but probably doesn't actually accomplish much. Alright. I'm bored. Well, let's move on. So what do I want? Trinospheres seem good. Boils seem good. Berserkers seem fine. Sulfur Elementals are questionable, but maybe playable. So my opponent doesn't really have things that I need to, like, go and kill with Crater Maker, so those can probably come out. How do I feel about Chance for Glory versus Miracles? It seems risky, but at the same time, like, if I can go and get it to resolve, like, the game probably just ends. It can contribute to me just, like, out-aggroing my opponent very early on. Not overly convinced these are great in this matchup, or more generally, that they're actually great. So if I cut the Chance for Glories and the Nihilas, this is where I end up. So I get, like, a couple more uncounterable threats, a few threats that, like, are a little harder to cast but are much stronger, and some very strong hate cards. I think I'm okay with this. Oops, Miss Trigger, thank you very much for following. Although it's, like, possible I should keep some of this around, like... Okay, no, this isn't a warrior. Never mind, I take it back. Are you a warrior? No, you're just an elemental. I would like to play first. Alright. Turn 2 Suppression Field, turn 3 Scab Clan Berserker, turn 4 Boil. This is a slow hand, but I think it's quite good. Like, if our opponent stumbles, I'm in fantastic shape. We will play the somewhat underwhelming Inspiring Vantage first. Strike fear into the heart of our opponent. Hey, welcome. Glad you caught the early stream. Things are busy currently, so I'm streaming when I can. We're going to play the hate card before just, like, throwing the clock into play. This is one of those things where if it doesn't get forced, it's a major nuisance for our opponent. But it did get forced. That's okay. Maybe that that paves the way towards Boil resolving in a future turn. I'm going to try to, like, get this suppression field down. Like, I really want this to work. This is another Bahra special. All right, our opponent has forced yet again. Alright, just... Oops, play a mentor. Okay. How do I want to respond to this? So I have 5 mana this turn. I can just try to boil them this turn. Take them off islands and try to invalidate Mentor this way. Or I can just start racing Mentor. The chat vote is just boil them. I think just boiling them has the highest chance of just, like, immediately winning the game on the spot. So, like, if they don't have an island, they probably can't do any other plays currently. So I can Scab Clan here, but if my opponent has Swords to Plowshares, I'd rather lose a Rabble Master to it and then, like, have additional haste damage next turn. So let's play the Rabble Masters here. To quote the great Chancellor Palpatine, do it! Hey, Romario. Glad you're here for these shenanigans. We have put fear into the heart of our opponent. That's excellent. I, on the other hand, have no fear. I will just turn these creatures sideways and, you know, whatever happens, happens. No, there's no Karn package in this one. Can't be all Karn all the time. Alright, we got the boil off. We scared our opponent to death. GG. Alright, so I'm on the draw now. Is that going to change anything? Suppression Field's a little worse on the draw. I don't really love, like, the Blood Moons quite as much on the draw. So, like, maybe I should trim a couple of these to just, like, make it so it's easier to actually cast my Suppression Fields and just keep in a couple more dudes. Like, I could just, like, keep in 1 or 2 of these just as additional threats. Or I could keep in, like, 2 of these just as something that can remove a mentor that gets flopped down onto the battlefield early. I don't hate that when I'm on the draw. I guess I do, like, have Sulfur Elementals to also, like, kind of answer mentor, but yeah, let's trim some Blood Moons. It's also possible I should play no Blood Moons when I'm on the draw. And they should just be more threats, and just keep my deck threat dense. Because, like, there's the whole, like, Blood Moon Boil Numbo, where I might, like, let them keep more lands. Hey, man, welcome. This is what's up. I don't know exactly what this is. But it's fun. I just boiled someone. Yeah, like, I'm playing this because it's interesting, not because it's necessarily good. Alright. So I go Chrome Mox, imprint this, Spirit Guide, Chalice. So I get a turn 1 Chalice. But then I have no mana with which to do anything. I think I need to like mulligan to something that's a little bit safer. Because even if I draw another land, like, I can't actually play a follow-up card. Like, I have Trinispheres in hand, which I like, but I don't know that this actually wins the game under any real circumstances, unless Chalice is just a turn 1 win. So I'm going to pitch this one. This hand is great. I will top that. If you keep a hand and say YOLO, no consequences will come. It's the law. So I will probably lead on Suppression Field and then follow up with Trinosphere. Does that change anything? Probably not, but it will let me just, like, boil whenever I want. Being able to pay for a Spell Pierce would be sick, too. Yes. Getcha! Getcha! Ha ha! Where's your white mana now, DM4X? It's coming, but, like, real slowly. Am I just jamming a boil right here? Am I just doing it? No, because I used my Spirit Guide. I have answered my own question. But if they, like, counterspell this Trinosphere, then they actually can't fetch. So, like, I'm still doing a pretty good job of, like, controlling their mana with this. Alright, you can't just call it Mark's Pile O cards. Like, he only has one Pile O cards, right? Like, there's a lot of questionable different decks he plays. Okay, so, like, here's the thing. If I boil and it resolves, then, like, my opponent will be able to fetch a Plains with Flooded Strand, and they're done. If I wait to boil, they might be able to, like, Snapcaster Spell Pierce. So I think I'm just going to jam. And if I jam and it doesn't work, then I'll start with, like, uncounterable Sulfur Elementals and maybe Nahib a little bit later on. Boil! Boo! Boo! I was having so much fun. But again, they still don't have access to this third land because of the Suppression Field, which is pretty sweet. Interesting fetch timing there. Not sure what that timing indicates. But I'll just be passing the turn here. I get to end step, flash in a Sulfur Elemental, which will be devastating. You're going to disenchant that. Okay. Well, that's fine. So from their side of the battlefield, it probably just looks like I'm missing land drops here. Little do they know, I have a surprise. It is an uncounterable friend. I think I'm going to start by attacking with Sulfur Elemental and see where that gets me. I don't think I want to Scab Clan this turn. Honestly, like, I don't even know that I want to use this for mana. like, just using it as, like, a threat later on is probably fine. Like, I can probably just wait this out. And this also makes it so that if my opponent plays a Mentor on their turn, I can just kill it. Like, I'll be a little sad in the case of Terminus, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm playing Red-White Flash, folks. Yeah, sure. So you're not actually going to get any, like, real value out of that Snapcaster Mage. You can target a counterspell, but you're just trading with a Sulfur Elemental. That's fine. Friend, you think because you've answered 2 Sulfur Elementals that your Mentor is safe. Wrong! Alright. Let's continue the pain train. What's a life total, really? It's meant to be used. If opponent wants to trade either one for Mentor, that's fine. That's fine. That just means I can draw it later. Jace is a little annoying because it's, like, very good against a 4-mana threat. Yeah, this deck list is hilarious. Like, it's a lot of fun. Let's spend a turn trying to get this down. I don't know that it's going to work. Like, long term. Like, obviously, like, it's probably going to resolve given, like, how many counterspells our opponent has used, but, you know, I haven't given them a great, like, Council Judgment target or anything like that prior to this turn. I don't love that it cost me 3 life to play this currently, but it is a time to press the advantage I have before it just slips away. You know, a Snapcaster Mage for a Swords to Plowshares or something like that, or just another Swords to Plowshares, means that I'm very, very far behind. One, two, three, four, five. Well, I can play these. Again, this does not feel good, but I think it's correct to just, like, press as hard as I can. Yeah, like, we're getting a Simian Spirit Guide forced. Did I really just take one with Battlefield Forge when I didn't need to? Oh, Goblin Lackey, welcome! I think you'll enjoy this. I'm playing some goblins. and a bunch of other somewhat questionable cards. Okay, well, our opponent is a no-good fun hater. With their no-good fun hate. I wanted to boil you, and instead you back to basics me. We'll scoop this one up here, folks. We got. Hey, Ken, welcome. We are playing against Justice Peanut. Is there justice? Also, Peanut, are you playing lands that I can boil? This is an important question for my personal happiness currently. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So probably 4-color loam? Alright. Our opponent is going to have lands. We have a lot of threats and only 1 red mana, so, like, we really hope they don't have Wasteland. But no fear. If they have Wasteland and Light from the Loam, like, I'm not going to win this game anyway. So, like, I'm just going to run this out there. Fuck! Okay. I'm going to play a City of Traders. Because I don't think that actually gives them information, right? Like, Inspiring Vantage into City of Traders, unless you've seen this deck list, like, you don't know what's going on. I'm gonna concede this one pretty quickly, though. Wait, do I literally even have any basic lands? I don't. That's bad. I'm gonna... So, like, here's the thing. If I draw suppression, or if I draw a Chrome Mox, I can play a card. I can also draw Simian Spirit Guide and play a card. So I'm not 100% lost. And if my opponent, like, does not Wasteland me for 1 turn, who knows what can happen. But as soon as I, like... Okay, there's another land. As soon as I give away information about my deck, I'll concede. But until then, I think it's worth drawing towards Chrome Mox. But my... Okay, so they have Blast Zone. That's really good to know about. That card's really sweet, by the way. Huge, huge fan of that. I haven't gotten to play with it much. Just in, like, the 15 post stream that I did. But I think the deck has a lot of potential, or the card has a lot of potential. It gives some decks just, like, a main deckable, flexible answer to weird things like True Name Nemesis that they didn't have before. Alright, so this is the point where, like, if I play Battlefield Forge, it just gets wastelanded, and then I have nothing, and even if I draw a Chrome Mox, I can't, like, play my next card. So I think I'm just gonna, like, go ahead and concede it here. Alright, so what do I want to do against Loam? I don't really want Chalices. I can put Chalice on 2, and maybe that's fine. Like, how do I want to approach this? Because I probably need something that deals with punishing fire. It can be fairy or it can be chalice, but I probably need something that can deal with punishing fire in some capacity. Actually, you know, I might keep the chalices and just put them on 0 for, like, their Moxen, and then, like, the Blood Moon plan's real. I also have Crater Makers to get rid of Moxen. So that's neat. Yeah, we have Chance for Glory down at the bottom here. I'm not sure if I'm keeping that in. Like, I feel like the board's, like, either going to be managed or clogged enough that, like, Chance for Glory might not be good enough. It makes my suppression fields a little harder to cast, though. We only have 5 matches before never playing this deck again, so we need to boil as many times as possible. It's a good point. But we need, like, some spreading seas to turn our opponent's lands into islands first, and I forgot to play those. Or blue mana to cast them, so, like, maybe not this time. I don't know, like, I don't hate Scab Clan just as something that has haste to, like, help answer planeswalkers that hit the battlefield. And we just, like, play as many threats as we can. We have Chalice for, like, 0 in the early game or 2 in the late game. Suppression Field's kind of annoying with, like, all their planeswalkers and various, like, lands and activated abilities. Like, let's see how this goes. Land, Chrome Mox, Imprint, play War Boss on 1. Or play War Boss on turn 2 and War Boss on turn 3. Like, I don't really love this hand. Like, if our opponent has a Punishing Fire, like, we're stone cold dead. Let's mulligan. Tell me where the blue player touched you, Phil. What did the cantrips do to you? I'm going to keep this and try to scry a land on top. I think a Chalice on 0 into Suppression Field would be a really strong opener. We'll bottom that. Questionable decisions are a go. I mean, you have Cavern of Souls. You don't care about your Goblin Lackeys through Chalice. That's not a big deal. All right, land. Why have you forsaken me? What have I, a humble Chalice player, ever done to you? Rats. No! Well, everything's going wrong, chat. But we have these sweet suppression fields in hand. Can we scoop yet? No? I'll take things you deserve for 200, Phil. Yeah. Yeah. Let's let our opponent play a win condition. Dude! You've abrupt the cave! You freed me! Now just, like, play a Bob or something scary. Alright. Alright. And we're going. Like, we're doing things now. So this is awkward, right? Like, Suppression Field would be neat to, like, really slow them down. But if I put white under here, I can't actually cast any of my threats. So I think I just go for the aggressiveness here and try to go Rabble Master into War Boss. And try to, like, take this game before they get something big onto the battlefield. Like, if I give them time, which is what Suppression Field will do, their Sylvan Library will probably end up putting them in a better position than, like, I will be in with time. So we don't want them to find Punishing Fire. That's the big one here. Like, Punishing Fire plus Grove will end me. But we've put some pressure on their life total now. The Sylvan Library loses a bit of its utility. Tabernacle. That's rude. I accept your slow, awkward burn. That's fine. Now you don't have to pay for your Dryad Arbor with your Tabernacle. Some next level thinking right there. So we get to pay for all our stuff again, which is cool. Yeah, like, opponent has one card. This plan may work, somehow. Uh-oh. I don't know, with a name like Justice Peanut, I don't know. What, this? You're not familiar with Legacy All-Star Najila the Blade Blossom? Well, this is bad. How do I beat Punishing Fire Grove combo? I need to find a Blood Moon or a Chalice now. So I should probably just let these go. Like, I can push one more point of damage through by, like, hitting myself for 2. But I think I'd rather just, like, give myself the opportunity to play something relevant if I draw it. So, like, a white mana source gives us a suppression field, or, like, we can just, like, play a Blood Moon if we draw one. I suggest you draw and play the no life gain dinosaur they banned in Standard. Like where you're coming from, HC Fox. Got a lot of bad cards in this deck already. We can squeeze in a few more. What is it? Rampaging for Acidon? Is that right? Hey, I'm gonna do things. Yeah, I got it. Phil knows a standard card. Exactly one. But I got one. Super dead to a Loam, by the way. Like, a Loam just going and, like, just bringing back these cycle lands plus Wasteland will probably be unbeatable. Yikes, opponent going to 4. That's brave. Nice, I did not want that Ancient Tomb anyway. I wanted my suppression field. Alright. Haha, joke's on you, fool. You've turned on your own tabernacle. Alright, so, cute things I can do. If the Punishing Fire is ever in graveyard, or if they ever tap low, I can just, like, play a War Boss and hit in for 1 hasty damage. Cindervines. Okay, you can't crack that this turn. Here's this problem, though. This knight is a big boy. Well, alright, fine. I'll just die. This league is not starting out strong, but boy, am I having fun. Hey, welcome. You missed us boiling a fool earlier. I mean, don't look at the match counter. That's not important. But we boiled someone. Oof. I just bumped my camera. Yeah, my stream hours are going to be a little inconsistent for a little while here. Things are crazy. I had a phone interview today after work. Got another one on Thursday. Skype interview. And I'm going to DC Friday. And I have another interview Monday. So I'll squeeze the streams in when I can. HC Fox, that's rough. You should be ashamed of yourself for that. Good job. Yeah, but other than being busy, like, things are pretty good. I've been having a lot of fun with the new board game. I got this board game called, well, my roommate got it. It's called Gloomhaven. It's sort of like a Dungeons and Dragons in a box sort of thing. We did like 2 or 3 campaigns of, well, not campaigns, like scenarios of that over the last couple of days, and it's just an absolute blast. Learning curve's a little rough. There's a lot of rules and a lot of complexity, and like we did things very wrong in the first scenario while we were still learning everything, but it's like super cool. It's also a huge commitment. Like, it's a long game, and like the board game is like $100. All right, what am I doing? Land, Chrome Mox, Imprint, Chance for Glory, pass? Or like I can't produce a turn 1 War Boss. And I can produce a turn 2 War Boss with like a medium follow-up. If we're playing against like a combo deck, like a bonus turn with Chance for Glory is super cool, but I don't know that this is like actually better than just like producing a turn 1 threat or a turn 1 lock piece. So I'm going to ship this hand. And I'm immediately punished with an unplayable hand. That's just today, huh? That's what's happening? How many colored sources do I have? 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 hits for a playable hand. It's actually quite good. I don't know that 16 is enough hits. Do I want this land? No. I don't think I do. I think I will just, like... This is pretty awful. This is, like, very clearly worse than the first hand, but, like, better than the last 2. If our opponent does anything cool, I'll probably concede. Yeah, I don't know how he 5-0'd with this. Like, maybe I'm just, like, getting the clunky end of the spectrum. Maybe I'm approaching the deck wrong, but I don't get it. Like, I'm having fun. But I don't think this deck is particularly strong. Like, it just feels like a less consistent version of other decks that I've been playing. Like, the 7 white cards are kind of just random and very medium. And, like, since you're giving yourself some white cards, like, you're getting more cards that aren't playable off of, like, soul lands, which is kind of a big deal. But our opponent is not doing anything, so, like, maybe we'll get there with a 2-2. Uh-oh. I don't think we're going to get there with a 2-2 anymore. You're just going to hard cast a Grizzlebrand? Cabal Therapy, target me. You got it. You got it. Stefano, I agree. Bahra might just get there with 75 planes. Like, he can 5-0 with that. Ishin's Shade incoming? Whatever you say. I don't even know what that card is. Is it just like some 7 mana, like, black derpy idiot? Like a 7 mana 6/6 or something like that would probably pretty handily beat me right now. Oh man, Cardboard Live extension coming in clutch. What's Ishin's Shade? A 5/5 with protection from white. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Goblin Rabble Master. Was that pause them opening up my stream? Was that them looking at a deck list that had these cards in it? I mean, Zach, like, I'm real well off on Moto. Like, I can have some fun and hemorrhage some money from time to time and be perfectly okay with that. Alright, what did our opponent do? Now we're going to animate dead a Grizzlebrand. Alright, I'm bored. I'll concede to that. Oh, those numbers aren't like really impressive. Like, if you're playing Magic as much as a bunch of the grinders are playing Magic, like, you can walk away with an absolute crap ton of ticks. Like, I don't have bragging numbers in terms of, like, ticks. Alright, so I don't think we need Chance for Glory. I don't think Blood Moon's particularly good either. Nahib's slow. You know what? Let's keep 1 Chance for Glory. For the memes. Actually, Goblin Crater Maker is not really that good either, right? Like, I'm not gonna, like, get rid of anything colorless. Alright, chat, you've convinced me. Let's keep the Chance for Glories in. So we'll cut out the very medium Goblin Crater Makers. It just hits Petal occasionally? What are you talking about? Oh, Crater Maker can hit pedal. Yeah, like there's worlds where it can do something, but it's pretty it's pretty rare. All right, we have a Chalice and a Fairy and a Chance for Glory. Keep. I'll be chalicing on turn 2, unfortunately, but like with a Fairy in hand, this is a fine opener. Like if our opponent like duresses or thought seizes us, and like they take the Fairy, like we have Chalice as a follow-up play, hopefully before they can just go off. If they cast a Cabal Therapy after waiting for this long, I will be convinced that it's them waiting for my like delay between like what I say on stream happens and when it takes them to catch up. I wouldn't go so far as to say wanton depravity. Yeah, see, there we go. And now they're gonna like hit Fairy because they waited for my stream to catch up. That's gonna be disappointing. Oh no, they hit the Chalice. No, but like in all seriousness, Zach, I've got like 4 interviews scheduled for the next week, so like I'm pretty good on that route. Okay, so which one of these is going to do the most damage? So this like essentially gets better by 1 a turn. No, we want to War Boss. So we can play War Boss into Chance for Glory, and probably have our opponent dead. I'll math it out if we live that long. Oh, Najila tokens make more tokens? No, a warrior attacks. Oh, you create a warrior. I see. So it does incrementally get better, just like War Boss does. But like the War Boss has the synergy with the other War Boss. I'll just hard cast a Grave Titan. Sure. That's a little disappointing. So I like probably just can't beat that. Maybe I can beat it with Chance for Glory, but like my opponent knows about that. So like I need to keep playing out cards. So like we'll be throwing away the 2 tokens that we make every turn. I think I messed up. So I was supposed to go and play Najila this turn, because Najila plus a War Boss plus 1 token that stayed around could have traded with Grave Titan. That was an error on my end. A big one, too. But maybe it's not, because, like, maybe the way we win is, like, by my opponent attacking all out and, like, we somehow alpha them, so, like, I need to keep all the threats around. That's unclear to me at this stage. So, like, right now, if I, like, assuming my opponent has no blockers, like, we attack in for, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, like, 9, 18. We, like, with Chance for Glory, we do have a 2-turn setup. But the Grave Titan will create 2 blockers, meaning that, like, my war bosses get traded off. So I don't know in what world I actually win. If I take this hit, can I survive next turn by chump blocking Grave Titan? So I'll take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That puts me to 6. Then next turn I can't actually survive. If I chump block this turn, I take 4, putting me to 12. And then next turn there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I think I'm better off not blocking and trying to find a way to win. That involves a Chance for Glory and maybe, like, playing another card with the Chrome Mox. This delay, again, is probably my opponent listening to all of my strategic advice and then making their decisions accordingly. Because shouldn't take them this long to make choices with the old Reanimator, especially when they, very clearly have me beat on board. I think they also know my entire hand, or very, very close to it. They're playing into our deflecting palm off the top. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but, when you hit with a couple Cabal therapies in a row, and you pause for a long time before every Cabal therapy, just saying. Sure, you can flash back your therapy. That's fine. Alright. That's dead. Well, not like... Yeah. Like, we can try to, like, block the Grave Titan and then just, like, die to the zombies afterwards, but, like, we're not getting there at that point. Alright, so we've failed to cash this league. Womp womp. We'll play it out. Like, I got another hour before dinner. I mean, the stream sniping just, like, takes the wind out of your sails. Like, you're having fun, you're playing Magic, and then someone just decides they would like to cheat. And like the worst part is like when you're getting stream sniped, it's someone who's sniping you because they want a better chance at winning Magic Online ticks, which like basically have no value. So like, you know, if you stream snipe and like it is the difference between you going like a 3-2 and a 4-1, like sure, I guess that's meaningful, but like if I consider myself like a below average grinder in terms of like all this stuff, like do I really care like about 9 chests on any given day? No. No, I don't. Like I just care about playing good interactive fun Magic. And you take that from me and ruin my viewer experience for everyone who's watching. Like the net negative to the Moto economy is not the right word, but like to the overall like Magic experience is rough. I'll be keeping this hand. I don't necessarily love it. Like we're lacking permanent mana sources. We're just gonna like play against lands. Yep, we're gonna play against lands. All right, how ham are you going on turn 1? Not. All right, so I probably want to play a Chalice on 2 so that I stop Punishing Fire and Life from the Loam. I can do that next turn. I think that's better than just like going all in on a Rabble Master. So I'm just going to play Plateau and pass. I don't really care about your exploration, given that you have Mana Bond. Also, yes, I realize that I'm shutting off my 2 Greater Makers, but like, we're looking to lock them out. And this is a great way to start doing that. Not my graveyard! So we're looking to moon them before Merit Lodge comes down and puts me in for a World of Hurt. Rabble Master will outpace these Maze of Iths over time. And Suppression Field would almost be a hot draw. Almost. Yeah, so it's like the little, like, fast lands, I guess is what they call them in Modern. Alright, you have a crop rotation. Alright, you're getting a Blast Zone. Cool. Alright, so you can use Blast Zone to get rid of these another turn down the line. Like, that's cool. Alright, so I can't cast these due to my own Chalice. This is gonna be the slow burn. So like they have 2 more mana, so that'll put Blast Zone up to 3. That'll get rid of both of these. Which means that like this and this will get mazed, so I have 3 damage a turn. I have them on a 4-turn clock as is. Oh, that's brave. If they don't have another land. They have double Punishing Fire. Okay. Well, alright, so I want to play this post-combat after they use Blast Zone to blow this up, right? Or no, it's 3 tap for Blast Zone. So they actually can't Blast Zone right now. Oh, I just, like, Blood Moon and kill them. Well, that's neat. Well, I can't boil my opponent. The fairies have some utility. The Scab Clans are kind of okay. Like, if you get a hit in with them, they turn into 3/3s, and then they don't die to Punishing Fires, which is cool. Suppression Field's great in this matchup. I don't know that I'm going to board out the Chance for Glories. I think it's too much fun. I might convince myself to board them out. Like, we'll see. If I keep Chalice, I'm just chalicing on 2. Like, would I rather have Chalice or Fairy? Because I need something to deal with, like, the Loams and Punishing Fires and such. If I do the Fairies, they're, like, worse if I draw them in multiples, but, like, they could theoretically be Chrome Mox fodder for, like, effectively colorless mana. Chance for Glory is also super cute if they, like, tap out and maze a bunch of my guys, and then I, like, Chance for Glory and kill them. I guess it's also, like, kind of protection against Punishing Fire. Alright, when I'm on the draw, I'm going to take the Fairies. When I'm on the play, I might play Chalice. Let's wax them in and see what happens. So for anyone just listening along, someone in chat just said, I am a professional Legacy player in the strictest sense of the word. Why don't you just kill them quickly by drawing the nuts and not allowing them to interact? That's what I'd do. Strong. Alright, so what does this hand do? This hand produces a turn 1 Goblin Rabble Master and then does nothing else. If I get another red source, it's like Rabble Master into Ward Boss, which is actually a very aggressive start. I'll keep. I don't think this is a good keep, but a lot of my mulligans today have sucked. Alright. So now I don't need to, like, lose my city. Oh, I noticed the Kappa. The Gilas are $7? Oh, wait, they have, like, some other text that's not relevant for, like, mono-red decks, right? Like, there's some weird, like, Commander-esque value engine to be had there. Blast Zone. A Sylvan Library. Ooh, buddy! Ooh, buddy! You know, I really probably should have just played the Suppression Field, but I got excited. Gamble. Gamble away. I assume it's going to be like a Tabernacle. Tabernacle Wasteland is a pretty sweet combo. Man, I really wish I could play a suppression field this turn. But that's not going to happen. So I think the suppression field is not great here. Yeah, I think we're probably winning. Like, our opponent needs to have something else. So I think I just want to throw that away and then just, like, have mana and bodies around for if this, like, ends up eating it. It's possible I should have Crater Makered there. Like, throw one Crater Maker to play another Crater Maker and then keep the suppression field around. But I was kind of afraid of something like that. Okay, they're just taking out my red mana. That's okay. Glacial Chasm is an annoyance. But how bad is it really? Alright, am I paying for these? I think so. So they can't really draw more cards with Sylvan Library. Or can they? Prevent all damage. Yeah, this is loss of life. Whoa! Going to 1. To play a Mox Diamond. Alright, is Mox Diamond super important here? Does that lets him tick up Blast Zone by 1. That's not enough to make a huge difference, right? So the Glacial Chasm goes away. And if they, like, get a life from the loam to, like, get it back, I just ferry it, and the game ends. Punishing fire, targeting themselves. GG's. Alright, so I've beaten my opponent here, and they acknowledge that, so I'm going to concede to them so that they have a better chance at going and getting some prizes. But we got him. So now we're 1-3. Yeah, like, I encourage you, like, if you're... Do you accept bits or subs? Which is better for you? I mean, both are very much appreciated. They end up working out similarly. If you're going to support me for a while, subs are awesome, you know. My sub count going up is, you know, kind of what keeps the Twitch being worth it from month to month. But if it's a one-time thing, bits are awesome. And thank you very much for that support, by the way. I really do appreciate it. Means a lot. I try to put out some awesome Legacy content. Under normal circumstances, it's about 3 days a week. Usually it's Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. The time for Sandy walks. Yeah, not today, but like I haven't played some D&T in a little while. Hey, I've blamed HC Fox for many things, but you know, if I get to blame HC Fox for something that gives me some dollar bills, that's way better than normal. Yeah, Goblin Lackey. Let's do that. Like, seriously. So I've got like 2 weeks of like regular work left, and then I'm like off for the summer with the exception of Latin Academy. So, like, in like 2 weeks, let's talk and make that happen. Because, like, I'm sure I could learn some things about goblins from working with you. Like, the deck's really complicated, and there's a bunch of, like, fun lines that I, like, tend to stumble my way into. Alright. So, bingo for this deck list. We boiled someone. That was great. But, like, what do we still need to do? We still need to kill someone with Chance for Glory. And we still need to connect with Nahib. Also, we haven't even, like, attacked with the Najila yet, so... Like, we've got other things that we can do with this deck list to make me happy. Like, we've done the usual nonsense of, like, murder you with goblins and, like, lock you out with, like, the hate pieces, but I've got some interesting stuff here to do still. Killed in Iona using 3 red cards, not casting any of them. So what'd you do? Like, Goblin Sharpshooter plus, I'm gonna like open that clip, but I'm not gonna watch it till later because I want to try to figure it out. So like, I think it's got to be like Sharpshooter plus a sack outlet goblin, the one that gives mana, plus like a token producing goblin, like Siege Gang, and you just like gun it down. That was a creepy laugh. I'll be keeping this hand. We get to go turn 1 Chalice. I could also just turn 1 Suppression Field for lulz. And that sets my mana up a little bit better for later. I'm going to do that. So let's turn 1 Suppression Field. And then like I can keep the City of Traders around, and if I get like another mana source next turn, I don't even have to like play it. Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, now my cards all look funky. Grindstone is going to be expensive to activate. But it is in play. So my death is like technically imminent. Alright. Let's get him. And this one doesn't even like make dudes the turn it comes out. I have to like attack with it. What a rip. A Goblin Welder. Okay. This is like one of the longest times I've ever lived with like these 2 cards in play. Alright, will they trade Painter and Goblin Welder for a 3/2? Let's find out. They will not. Okay, so I guess I should put a Chalice on 1 and respect, like, blasts that my opponent can be playing. Yes, I intend on playing at at SCG-Con. I haven't registered or anything yet, but, you know, it's the plan to. Like, it's in town here, so, like, I'd be a fool not to play in at least some of the events. I'm not registering just on like the off chance that I like have to go out of town for a job interview or something like that. But I intend to be there. I intend to be playing. Hopefully, like as many days of Magic as I can play. Yeah, it's been a couple months for me since I've like picked up my actual like physical D&T deck and brought it to a store. A walking ballista. Well, that can gun down this thing. All right, so some Goblin Welder things may happen in the not too distant future. Like, all right, let's not think about it. Let's turn cards sideways. All right, so this being a warrior is now relevant. All right, so let's discard these and turn them into new cards. Those are way better cards. All right, is this thing legendary? It is legendary. However, cowards indeed cannot block warriors. Man, I can like kill the Painter Servant, or I can kill the Grindstone with this. But Goblin Welder is annoying. Ugh. Okay. I'll take things that I would have figured out 30 seconds from now for 500. So I can kill the Goblin Welder. And I should probably just do so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, because I can attempt to kill this Painter Servant, but then, like, it just, like, gets welded for Lotus Petal, then gets welded back. Oh, yeah, you know what? Suppression Field. Let's defer that decision until I have 5 mana. Am I still attacking him with everything? So Painter can't kill anything except for the little warrior. And if Painter blocks the warrior, then it's not blocking the Crater Maker, which means I'm getting in for 2 damage. So I think I'm fine with that. So then I assume Welder will weld out the Painter Servant for a Lotus Petal. Yep. But, like, this has Trample, right? He blocked this. Trample is the real MVP. I did not know that new cards did things. All right, so what do we have versus Painter? We have all the sweet cards that are in our main deck. Let's play Scab Clan Berserkers over some Blood Moons. And let's play a Sulfur Elemental over a Blood Moon. And then probably call it good. The white cards are probably a little questionable because, like, our opponent might leave in some Blood Moons. I don't know, like, what Painter's sideboard configuration looks like, but Chance for Glory has a real chance to just be devastating. And Suppression Field is a stellar card. So we have an aggressive hand of turn 1 Rabblemaster, turn 2 Najila. I will keep this. We'll see if it's good enough. Turn 1 Rabblemaster into turn 2 Rabblemaster is an even better hand. If our opponent draws like a Pyrokinesis and I lose 2 Rabblmasters to that, I wouldn't even be mad. Just throwing out like hypothetical events. You think I won't race an Ensnaring Bridge? I'll race it. Chalice is interesting. But, in the words of Sonic, gotta go fast. Dude, it happened! It happened! Man, we are getting wrecked here. Can I beat this now? Like, my opponent has 1 card and a Karn. I don't think so. That was sweet. Also, that's a cool called shot. Feel good about that one. So like when you're first like playing Legacy, like you don't see things like Pyrokinesis coming and they just like come as these savage blowouts. But after you've been playing for a while, you start asking yourself like, what's the absolute like most savage thing that could happen to me and how can I play around it? And then you get a little better about like playing around those sorts of things. All right, so this is an unexciting hand. Like, I have mana, I have spells. I can turn 2 Scab Clan, and then, like, turn 3 Crater Maker or Najila, and, like, maybe that's good enough. I'm going to keep this one because, like, mulliganing might put me into a worse position. And I'm just going to, like, hope that the aggression of Scab Clan puts my opponent on too swift of a clock to be dealt with. There's pauses here. Is that like a Pyrokinesis pause? I'd be totally fine trading Scab Clan for Pyrokinesis. Like, we 2 for 2 each other here, right? Like, it cost me Scab Clan and a Petal, and it cost them a Blast and a Pyrokinesis. Alright, The clock is on here. Alright, so I don't think I can die next turn. Unless my opponent has, like, Soul Land plus Spirit Guide. Like, I could just, like, Crater Maker the Grindstone now and be, like, super safe. Or I could just, like, put this into play. Right, we ran into this before. If I wait, Crater Maker becomes blue. I will not crack this until they play the Painter, though. Chalice. This is probably a fine card to cast. Like, I don't think I need to be so aggressive that I go and, like, cast this turn. Like, if I just put this on 1 before they get another Grindstone or Welder in play, like, it's probably so favorable for me. Alright, let's see if they have something like a PNK. I can also just see them, like, getting a Ballista. Yep. So I'm not going to play this land out. It's just kind of like giving away additional information about my hand. And I might want to, like, keep some bad cards in my hand for Nahib. Oh, it's just Karn. Karn gets rid of Chalice. A Goblin Welder for Grindstone. So they need another artifact, but then I'm dead. So what happens if I attack in with this? Let's find out. I assume just, like, trade 2 recruiters for the body is fine. Alright, so we try again. Okay, so that's death. So my opponent will weld that for Grindstone, Grindstone activate, and the end is nigh. Alright, what am I missing? Why are they pleasant? Alright, do they have something cooler to do? Because if they can kill me in a cooler way, I respect it. Mycosynth Lattice. But I'm dead! But I'm dead! Maybe they just want to kill me at instant speed. We'll let them have it. GG's. All right, so we won forward that league. That was not impressive. Okay, so honestly, I just don't think this deck is good. Like, I just think it's a worse version of Red Prison. Like, these cards just aren't as powerful as, like, the Planeswalkers you have in Red Prison or, like, the Reach you have from Fiery Confluence. And, like, Suppression Field, while a very powerful card, I don't think it's worth making your mana base so much worse. Like, if you just look at what you're playing here, like, every one of these can be wastelanded. Like, that makes you worse against things like Land and Delver than you normally would be. And we never got to Chance for Glory. Like, we drew it plenty of times, but, like, it got pitched to Chrome Mox or just kind of sat around in our hand, which is kind of unfortunate because, like, it's a cute card. The Boils in the sideboard felt great. Liked that. But I would probably not play this deck list again. Was not just super impressed about what was going on there. But it was fun. Like, I enjoyed the ever-loving heck out of this stream. So, like, no regrets in that regard. So I don't know that I'm going to have an opportunity to stream on Wednesday. I've got a dentist appointment that I've got to go to. But I will probably be back at some point this weekend. I'm going out of town Friday for a job interview, so I'll be back at some point Saturday. So it might be like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon stream, but I'll try to get a little Magic content out there this weekend. If you're enjoying my content, please follow or consider doing something to support my streaming efforts. I'm going to go ahead and turn you over to Arkin, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Night, folks.